This segment is sponsored by the University of Phoenix. A new survey conducted by a Harris poll examines how AI is being used in professional and educational settings. And joining us now is Kelly Herman from the University of Phoenix to tell us more about the survey's findings. Welcome, Kelly. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Kelly, what concerned you the most from your survey findings?
Sure. So what stood out the most was the gap between AI adoption and accessibility readiness. 45% of our survey respondents say accessibility is absent from, unclear in, or they're uncertain whether it's covered by their workplace AI policies. And AI is already becoming part of everyday work and learning, but many workers either don't see accessibility addressed clearly in the workplace AI policies, or they don't know whether it's addressed at all. And the concern here isn't that workers are rejecting AI. In fact, many see real benefits, but the concern is whether the tools, policies, and training are keeping pace so that we're not leaving people with disabilities or different access needs behind.
I see. And how can AI improve accessibility in education and in the workplace?
So AI is a really powerful tool when it's used intentionally. And so in our survey, respondents identified likely benefits for creating accessible documents, presentations, websites, or learning materials, as well as presenting information in different formats, such as plain language, audio summaries, translations, and then also importantly, training employees or learners on accessibility practices. And those aren't small conveniences. They can affect whether someone can fully participate in a class, training, meeting, or actually complete a workplace task. And so in education and at work, that matters because not everyone learns, communicates, or processes information in the same way.
That's a great point. Why is accessibility essential to responsible AI adoption?
No, I think it's essential because AI and responsible AI use is not just about speed or productivity. It's about whether the technology works for the people who need to use it. And so our survey found workers want responsible AI to include training, clear rules, human review for important decisions or high impact work, and of course, privacy and data security protections. And one of the interesting things in the survey was that 60% of AI users have seen their knowledge of and ability to use accessibility standards and guidelines improve as a result of using AI, including 74% of AI enthusiasts. And that's really cool because the reality is that accessibility benefits everyone. So when we have clearer content, better summaries, accurate captions, and multiple formats, that helps workers and learners with disabilities, but it also helps busy adults, multilingual learners, mobile users, and anyone trying to absorb that information quickly. And if accessibility is built in from the beginning, organizations are more likely to create AI environments that are universally usable.
Can you tell us what happens, Kelly, when AI tools are deployed without accessibility in mind?
Sure. I think the biggest thing there is that it can create new barriers instead of removing them. And so a tool could produce inaccessible content, it could miss context, introduce bias, or make important information harder to use for people who rely on assistive technologies. And that's why that human oversight is essential. And so 36% of our survey respondents identified that human review for important decisions or high impact work should be part of responsible AI use at work or at school, because AI can generate captions, summaries, transcripts, and image descriptions, but those outputs still need to be reviewed for accuracy and for accessibility. And so the goal here is not automation alone, it should be that responsible and accurate use.
What can employers and educators do now to create more inclusive AI environments?
I think the most important approach is to make accessibility part of the process from the start, not waiting to add it until after a problem appears. So review your policy and make sure accessibility is part of that. Choose and test tools for people who have different access needs, and then also train people on accessible AI use, both on the prompts and the inputs, but then also on the accuracy of outputs, and make sure that workers and learners know where to go for help. And organizations don't need to wait for perfect answers. They can begin by communicating expectations clearly, offering hands-on training, testing tools with users who have different access needs, and keeping that human judgment in the loop.
AI is truly here to stay, Kelly. Thank you so much for all of this great information.
My pleasure.
For more information, go to www.phoenix.edu.